Hello everybody and welcome to episode 20 of my Minecraft server series. Now, this episode is all about preparation. As I said in my previous episode, I've done a lot of mod updating, and one of the biggest mods, and one of the main mods that I've updated is the Stargate mod. And if you look behind me, you'll see that I have fixed all the texturing issues that I had at the end of my last episode. So if we go and have a look around, we have got these cartouches that are 6 symbols in length. You can make them longer and you can make them with the point of origin section attached. For the moment, I'm just going to keep them with the 6 symbols with no point of origin because I'm dealing with a Milky Way Stargate at the moment, so I'm just keeping the 7 symbol address, and I know what the point of origin is. So, and as you can see, I've got an entire wall of them here. So yeah, whether we're going to fill all of these up or not, I don't know. I know that if I hit my F1 key, I've got my Stargates tab open with my waypoints, and if I open up my map, you can see there are already some that I have found in previous runs, in previous episodes, and in previous behind the scenes adventures. Some of which I think this one over here, things like this, it has the pedestal for the gate, but one of my friends already beat me to it and stole the gate from it. So I don't think that one exists anymore, and I think it's the same with one of the other ones because I think I mined it up myself. But nevertheless, there is a number of Stargates out there to start filling in, which I already have. You've got spawn there. We have, let me go into my notebook here. Yeah, you got spawn at the is the first address. Obviously, I don't need the base one because we're at the base. So the second one is the Plains Village, and then the third one is one that I found not too long ago. It's a desert village one, and it's very, very interesting because the way it's spawned, you've got 3 villages in a desert, and they've all got Stargates. But then you've got this big hole here that I haven't loaded yet, so I'm hoping there's some new content in here. If not, we might have to go a little bit further out for that new content. But that's what we're going to be exploring over the next 10 episodes. However, there are certain bits and pieces that we do need to prep before we can start looking into that. So first of all, let me have a look at all my farms. In the background, I have been doing a little bit of farming, a little bit of mining of what farms I have. A lot of sugarcane mining has happened in the last couple of days. We've got quite a bit, as you can see here, and I'm going to mine up what we've got here as well, because we're going to need a lot of paper for what we're going to be doing next episode, which I will get onto in just a moment. Let's turn that back on so I can find these other bits of sugarcane. Come on, there we go. That's that one. There's that one, and there's that one. Cool. We might as well do that one as well, because we don't know if we're going to need pork or anything. I'm using this as a chest at the moment for my enchanted stone hoe. I don't need to have anything more than a stone hoe, but the fortune enchantment does kind of help it give me more stuff, which is nice. So let's get all of these planted. Obviously, I'll breed the pigs when I need to, which actually might be very, very soon because I've only got those 25. So we might pillage the pigs in a minute. But we've got quite a few resources in here. Seeds to breed the chickens, but then of course they've got eggs as well. No, I don't want that. I want that one. There we go. So yeah, we've got a bunch of sugarcane there, which the objective of that is to make a bunch of paper. So let me just pop back in here. Thank you. Now, I've been putting together a list of things that we need to get ready for this 10-episode adventure, and a lot of it is for the very first episode. So I'm just going to go through some of these. So the next episode is all about how we find the new buried stargates and how we get to the new Abydos dimension that comes with the Stargate mod. I say new because it's had a massive overhaul. So there's a bunch of new features, bunch of new layouts, bunch of new structures. It's really kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to the next 10 episodes. But in order to do that, we need a cartography table. Because to find the new buried stargates, you need a map that you get from a cartographer. And you can't have a cartographer without a cartography table. In order to get said map to find the buried stargate, you need to fully max out the cartographer's trade. And one of the last things that they will give you is the buried stargate map, which could be tens of thousands of blocks out. So we'll just have to wait and see what map we get and where it is. Some of the trades here, some of the things here are to do with those trading, things like the 5th Avenue chalk bars. Now, I have been doing a little bit of exploration, going back over some of the stargates that I've already found in previous episodes and things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly sleep in here, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is that we have found. So reloading in some of the chunks with the already existing stargates, it's refreshed some of the loot tables there. So going over some of the chests I've already looted. Wrong chest. And I've come across these 5th Avenue chocolate bars, which are part of the original Stargate movie done in 1994. It's how they break the ice with the indigenous species of the Abydos realm of the planet Abydos. So yeah, one or two of the trades may involve about a stack of these bars. So we need to create, and yes, we can actually craft these 5th Avenue chocolate bars. Hence the paper. So that's something, at least a stack, if not 2, if I can craft enough. Unfortunately, it only gives you 1 from the crafting recipe, so that's what the chocolate bars are for. 64 for a stack, but I might do 2 just to be on the safe side. If we don't use them all, we don't use them all. I can bung them in a chest. Spare rockets. Our rocket situation at the moment is very, very bad. And of course, to make rockets, you need gunpowder, which I've got, but you also need paper. Hence, the sugarcane out front. The massive amount of sugarcane. Yeah, a lot of paper needed. Torches. There are some underground structures within the Abydos realm. So we're going to need a few stacks of torches to light up the area and see what we're dealing with. Looting shulker. So it might just be a shulker. Might just be a shulker box that I grab from here. One of these bottom ones here that we grab and take to stick our loot in, because there are new loots. There are new chests, new areas, new things to find. Anything worth looting will go into a shulker box, and that will go in our pockets. So, always handy to have. What else do we need? Chalk and notebook pages. This is important with the new cartouches. If you offhand a blank notebook page and in your main hand stick a piece of chalk which looks like this. Actually, let me demonstrate this really quickly if I can. I think I've got some blank notebook pages around here. Boing, 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 boing. So yeah, using these cartouches, I've got an ender chest right up here. There you go. So if I offhand the notebook pages and then right click one of these with my chalk, it gives me a notebook page with that address on it. Now if I happen to right click the wrong address, or I feel like, oh no, I've already got that address, I can clear it like that and reuse it. And as you can see, it hasn't used up any of the black chalk. It hasn't used any of the durability of the black chalk. It just exists really. But I have got 3 in this ender chest that I'm carrying with me anyway, so I'm also going to stick that back in there as well. As well as some other bits and pieces. So that is that. This I will sort out in just a minute. I just want to finish going through this list before we actually start preparing. But yeah, it's all very, very interesting and it's exciting, and I am really looking forward to it. Right, book and quill. So that one's done. Emeralds, again, cartographer, maxing out his trades. We're going to need some emeralds. I've been doing a lot of mending on my tools and things, and I'm really low on the emerald count, so I need to fix that. And waystones, because there's probably not going to be any waystones within the Abydos dimension, so if we take some, we might be able to place some down if we so wish. And I think I have already got one of these. I'm sure. There you go. I've already got a waystone ender chest, so I might stick that. Shulker box, and I might stick that in my ender chest so that we have it with me. And then we've got these that I'm putting together, which is the Stargate kits. One of the new structures within the Abydos system is a wall of addresses, a wall of Stargate addresses already out there in the world for us to dial up and explore. Some of which are incomplete, so it's a bit of guesswork. But it means there are other Stargates to find, but some of them, unless it's been fixed in the recent update, I think it has from what I've seen, but just to be on the safe side, I know there have been some Stargates out there that don't have the control crystal, so one of the other things that I'm looking at doing, and one of the things that I've been hoarding, are the Stargate crystals. If we pop outside very briefly, I'll show you the situation that we've got, which I think I already have shown in a video, potentially. Just trying to remember. But yeah, we've got these, which as you can see I haven't mined up in a hot second, so I might do that during this video, let them grow some more. But yeah, we've got things to do, we've got a checklist here, so let's potter around, see what we can do. And the first thing on my list is that red building behind me. That hut right over there is our new scuba shed. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to be somewhere that I can put the bits from the base. I've already put in the skeleton of it all, so that's where the water's going to go. Here's where the cog's going to go. I've put a hole for the water to actually drain down. And what I might also do is see if I can't work out where exactly that hits, and I might just put in a fake trundle of water that goes down into the ocean, as if it's kind of recycling some of the water, because out the back I've tried to mimic a water butt in the back here. So essentially, as we all know, it rains in Minecraft, so essentially using the composter here, I'm using that as a water butt, and of course it will flow down into the scuba shed and power the wheel that we'll have here. So let's go and move that into place, and that will kickstart our preparations video. And it's going to be a lot of band-aid ripping and things like that, just doing it because we need to, as opposed to delaying the inevitable. So I need to go grab a bucket so I can pick up that water, and then we can dismantle that scuba thing and put it in our scuba shed. It's just so that, you know, at some point I might create a new one of these, which I don't think I actually have. Can I? Gonna do that just in case. Yeah, I knew I was going to do that. So that's a copper back tank. So what I'm actually going to do is do a one of those, and then do a one of those, and add it to our list here. Really simple thing to actually put together, so I might create a few now that we've got an automated way of recharging it. I'll bring this lot with me. There we go. And we'll just start disassembling this. That should stop the water flow. Ooh, it's getting really laggy at the moment. I don't like that. And then somewhere around here, I've got the block that actually goes in there. So, but the sun's going down and I'm not doing this with mobs around. So let's put the sun back up in the sky. And then we can... Nope, wrong way. We can take this stuff out to the scuba shed. Boing, boing, boing. Use the path that I put in. This area is really coming along, and I really like that as well. I like the fact that it's coming along really nicely. So actually the first thing that we have to put in, and I need to remember which way round it goes. Oh, there we go. That works. And then, yeah, we'll try and sort out the rest in a minute. But let's put in this water, which should... There we go. Right, if I remember rightly, it was something like that. With one of those. One of those. All fitting down into one of those. That can go there. I might see if I can put a block. Just as a temporary block, I'm going to put that there so that it's not floating, as it were. And then I'm going to put the armor stand there in the corner with the scuba helmet on it. But there you go. Gets it out of the main base. And then, yeah, what I might do is dig out something underneath and have a trickle of water come out of here so that it's kind of expelling it a little bit, which would be quite nice. But yeah, Can have a look over here for anything. But all I really need to do is come in, grab that, and use it. Cool. And I believe that was actually on the to-do list, so I can tick that off as and when I'm ready to. Which is very, very nice. Let's put this stuff away, and then I'm going to go grab all the sugarcane out that we have and turn that all into paper and deal with all of that. Bucket away in there. That can go away in there. So while I'm actually doing this, while I'm collecting the sugarcane and turning it all into paper, I do need to put out I don't want to say warning, but just a friendly heads up, I suppose, for those watching this and enjoying these videos. Obviously, I know I mentioned it very, very early on in this run of videos. I know I've probably mentioned it more than once and things like that, but obviously this is just a hobby. I'm doing this for fun, to have somewhere to put my creative output and to give me something to do when I'm not working. I do have a job outside of this. The only reason I mention this is I'm going to be very busy over the next 2 to 3 weeks, give or take. I've had a lot of shifts come my way, and it's giving me very little time to sit down and record any videos. So, yeah. It might be a little bit slow for a couple of weeks. Some videos might be early, some videos might be late. It all depends on when I have some free time to sit down and record the next one. So it might even be a couple of weeks between this video and the first of the next 10 looking into the Stargate mod. But they are coming. I am looking forward to sitting down and recording them. It's just, unfortunately, real life is rearing its head at the moment, and yeah, it is just one of those life things. This isn't me going away. I'm not gonna go off on another bit of a hiatus or anything like that. I don't want to put that in there. It's just me potentially slowing down for a couple of weeks while I have to work a particular event that's coming up at work. So they need all hands on deck, and it means that it's taken up some of the time that I would have spent recording some videos. So just be mindful of that, is all I'm saying. But yeah, we've got the paper that we need now. I'm going to keep all of that sugarcane for now. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take all of that and pop it. Actually, I could just do that and make a bunch of rockets, which hasn't massively dented our paper reserves. I could potentially do that again. There you go. We've still got quite a bit left over, which is good. It means I can fly again. I've been trying to keep the rockets I have for emergencies, but that's fine. They can go elsewhere now. So, having a look at the next thing on our to-do list, which is the chocolate bars. 6 bits of paper, 2 cocoa beans, and a cookie. Well, luckily, I've been out and I've been exploring a little bit. I happened to find a waystone in a jungle a couple of weeks back. So I was able to hop over there and steal some... Well, there goes the glowberry seeds. Anyway, I was able to pop over to the jungle and steal some jungle wood and some of these cocoa beans. Which means we've got plenty to turn into the chocolate bars. And of course whether it makes a difference or not, but I'm using my no, that's my silk touch. That's because I put my other one away. I have been using my fortune pickaxe, but it doesn't seem to be making too much of a difference anyway, looking at what we've got here, so that's not too much of a problem. It's always good to have some up here. But we've already got virtually 2 stacks here anyway, which really helps. We've got 2.5 stacks. So there we have it. Do I have a chest or something in here? I know I've got the barrel over there, but that's quite full at the moment. Can I stick anything? Yeah, go on. Just because what I do want to do is pop down to our animal farm and grab some cookies, which I can get from them. Gonna grab these emeralds, and I think it's about time we took our measurement emeralds. If anyone remembers, back at episode, I don't even remember when, 5, we put these emerald blocks down so they show up on the map here to help me put the base in the right place. So there's 4 blocks of emeralds on the outside of our base. That's 9 emeralds. That's 18 emeralds. That's 27. And that's 36. There we are. And obviously I have been curating. No, not curating, that's not the right word. Storing. I have been storing the stuff from the vegetable farm that we've got. So hopefully we can hop in here. You do take wheat and carrots. I'm going to use the wheat because we haven't got any cows or sheep yet. So I'm going to take that. And I'm going to get whatever emeralds I can get from that, which isn't much. Is that right? I don't feel like that's done the thing. Nope, you just don't get much from it. Fair enough. But we've got a few emeralds here anyway, so to heal that, let's do that. I don't know how many of these chocolate bars we can make with this, but hopefully it is enough to get us by. If it's a stack, I'm happy with a stack. That can get back in there. Whee! We'll quickly sleep and put some of these spare rockets away as well, because that's taking up some inventory space. I think I spent far too much time explaining stuff, I feel, but it's good to get a bit of a heads up of what's going on, I feel. So, I need to fix that hole, but it's good to have an empty side there again. And hopefully I can put some more of these along this side, which is kind of the plan, but that's if we need it. As I'm passing here, I'm just going to chuck in this piece of sugarcane. I'll move it back down to the sugarcane farm. I use the word farm loosely, but yeah. I'll take it back down shortly. Right, so it was a cocoa bean and cookie sandwich in paper. So let's see what we can pull together. Well, that already looks fantastic. And just by splitting these bits here as well, let's take all of that. Obviously, I have no idea how many of these we're going to need, but we've already got 4, so that's actually 64 and 21. So we're in a good place. And I think behind the scenes, in between this video and the next, as and when I can get on, working hours dependent, I might just continue harvesting the cocoa beans to see what I can grab and take with me in case I need any more. But I do feel like I need to grab a shulker box to stick some of this stuff in. So this is our 5th Avenue chocolate bar box. So only things to do with... Am I going to say that? Am I going to say that? For now, only things to do with the chocolate bar will go in here. We have got some space here. I might put the emeralds down there in the corner. Because why not? Right. So, having a look at this. Chocolate bars done. Spare rockets done. Obviously, looting shulker done. That is our looting shulker. Cool. Waystones sorted. Notebook and chalk, we've got that in an ender chest, so that's not a problem. Torches and cartography table is up there at the moment, but luckily I have come prepared. In this brown shulker box, I had intended on using the new testing bunker to stick up 7 villagers just to see if they would change what they roll and see how the new cartography trade works. But having done it in a single player world, don't need to do that. I literally just need the cartography tables and 1 villager. So that can go back in there. The reason I'm taking the entirety of the cartography tables is I have found in my single player testings that sometimes, in fact, both ones that I've done, there hasn't been a native cartographer. There hasn't been a cartography table on or in the Abydos village. So it's always good to take one with you so that you can find the structure that helps you get back home. So that's what I'm going to do. And because it's not that much, I'm just going to plop it in there. Obviously, you can't put a shulker box in a shulker box, which is slightly annoying, but yeah. So that is that. Somewhere around here, in fact, nope. I know exactly where I'm going to put it because I've cleared the space for him. I'm going to place the cartography table there and the villager there. Another reason I've got so much paper. So I'm going to put the shulker box there. So I might not do it this episode, but definitely in the next episode, we're going to go through his trades, and I might time lapse going through and maxing him out so that we get the very important trade that we need from this guy. But he's there and he's set up. It's all part of the preparation. once I've put these items in the ender chest, we'll see how we are looking. So that's those bits in there, our looting shulker box and our waystone shulker box. Ah, yes. So emeralds we need to work on. But again, that's a little bit too time consuming, so I might do that in the background using our lovely mason and the materials from the pit. I know for a fact that I've got stone and andesite galore to trade with this man and get some hefty diamonds for my troubles. Diamonds? I mean emeralds. So that I can fix, that we've got sorted, that we've got torches. That I am going to be very, very cheeky. Nope, I need to go outside. And I'm going to head over to our little chest monster here. Which one is it? Do you know what? Just grab a couple of stacks. We'll do that. There we go. First, I'll take that. And yeah, we'll turn those into torches, and then we'll stick those into the ender chest as well. And then I think we're nearly there. Sticks, sticks, sticks. I need some sticks. Do I have anything in here? I know I've got stuff in here. Let me go see if I've got some rogue sticks in the wood chest in the storage room. And I think we're virtually there. Cartography table we've done. Chocolate bars we've done. Rockets we've done. Shulker we've done. Notebook pages and chalk done. Emeralds we'll get there. Waystone's done. Yeah, it's literally just the torches which I can use these items here to do. Torches. I might just stick the coal in there, whatever, because we might be able to find something on the other end to give us some... Learn how to craft. There we go. I mean, that's already given us nearly 4 whole stacks. So let me go pop these in the ender chest. And I think we're just about prepared, I think. Apart from the food situation, but that is an easy fix. Now, if I swap those guys over, then those can go in there. Excellent. The other shulker box with the chocolate bars need to go in here once I finish with the cartographer. Yeah, something I am going to do with the crystals that I've got is make some of these DHD crystals, just in case we come across any that don't... any stargates that don't have crystals within the DHD. Which luckily I have been collecting the resources for. I've got 8 circuit bases here. I'm going to take those and see. Should just be the straight 8 because of the circuit bases we've got. But it should be as straightforward as that and that. And then we can put the rest of this back in the chest. And as the sun goes down, we are getting ready for the end of the episode. So yeah, before next episode, I will see if I can improve our emerald situation and our food situation, which will then get us completely ready for episode 1 of the 10 episode Stargate. I guess you could call it a showcase. I will be exploring maybe not everything in the mod, but definitely 90% of the stuff in the mod update. So, yep, next episode we'll trade with that villager behind me and will find the buried Stargate. God knows how many blocks away it is. But yeah, hope you're ready for the next 10 episodes. Again, I'm sorry, I just don't know when it's going to come out, but hopefully time allows me to get it out very, very soon. But no, hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're looking forward to the next 10 episodes. And until I see you again, have a wonderful, wonderful time. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.